Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is called I Quit My Job at Dunkin. Ronuts. All right, let's watch the video.
Story time on how I just recently quit my job at Dunkin that I was at for 10 years. Now, I know you guys been waiting for this story time, and I'm finally here to tell you everything and get everything off my chest. You guys been asking me a lot of questions, and you guys are ready to hear the story. Before we get started, though, I need to go over two things. The first thing is that I was not at the specific Dunkin that I've been working at for the past year and a half. I have not been at that Dunkin for 10 years. It is a new location. It's a whole different network that I was at from the beginning. I was at my first Dunkin for 5 years. I bounced from one location to another location and now this location. I've been to about 4 Dunkins my whole entire Dunkin career, and I've only worked at Dunkin my whole entire life since 15 years old. If you know, you know. Number two is no, I did not give a 2-week notice. I didn't give anybody a heads up. I didn't even say anything. I didn't show up, nothing. And if you know me, you know that I always give a 2-week notice. I always give a heads up, and I always let management know that I'm leaving and I have found a different job and I need my 2 weeks for every job that I've been at, meaning every Dunkin I've been at. This time, I don't think it was deserving of it. I don't think there was any reasoning for it. I don't think it was gonna benefit me at any point at all. I was definitely thinking about going back to work right after my New York trip, but then I got to thinking, and I didn't even think about it my whole entire New York trip. But once I got back, I was like, you know what? I still see some sneaky, slimy shit going on, so I'm like, you know what? I'd rather not. I've pretty much been with my manager since 2020. We were at one location, and then we bounced to another one, and then we ended up here. Right before September 2023, we were told that we needed to hire a brand new staff, whether they had experience or not. We had to train them at one location, and then once the new location was open, which was the Dunkin that we're at right now, we were gonna put them there, and that's where they were gonna work. So while that was all happening, me, as the assistant manager, my job was to train, make sure they're prepared and ready, and set up the store, the brand new store, meaning bringing all the inventory. When I tell you everything in that store, I mean everything, down to the scoopers, down to the big machinery. Obviously, I didn't move the big machinery, but when it was there, I needed to turn it on, I needed to get it ready. Same thing with anything on the stations, any ovens, any appliances, everything that you could think of for a Dunkin that needs to be open. That's what I did. And when I tell you I did that all by myself, why did I do that by myself? Because my manager and another person that was on our crew, which was our shift leader, that was helping with hiring and training and all that as well in the beginning, they were both on vacation. So when I tell you all of the work was on me, it was on me. I was doing all the physical work. I was doing all the training. I was doing hiring. I was doing everything that you could think of. I was doing it for that store by myself. Yes, they helped a little bit in the beginning before they went on vacation, but from that whole extra month, they were both gone. So it was just me by myself doing all that work. Training, hiring, setting up the store, all the above, everything you could think of. Their vacation's over, they end up coming back. We start at the store. Now, I just got these group of people, and when I tell you I had one group at one location and one group at the other because there was just so many employees, I couldn't put them into one store. I feel as if I got these group of people comfortable and happy and good at this job, for them to just come back from vacation and kind of just like mess that up and now try to scare them and try to demand things and make sure everything is ran like how they want to run it. And it's like, you got to understand, like you coming at them crazy and they barely even know you is such a bad look. That's kind of what transpired. Like after that was that it was kind of like, oh, Jose, you want to look good, you don't want to look mean, you don't want to step on their toes, you want them to just walk all over you. And I was like, no, anything that you tell me to tell them or anything that I see, I have no problem with telling them. I literally have pulled people to the back and explained them and told them everything that you needed me to tell them that they were doing wrong. The thing is that I know how to speak to people. I know how to communicate with people. I talk with people with respect because that's what I want in return. Like my manager, you want people to be scared of you, and that's the wrong look. That's not what you want. You could have a good relationship with your crew and have no problem. As long as you don't let them walk all over you, that's all that matters. It's all about good environment. You want to have such this bad environment to begin with off the jump, and that's not good. That's not a good look. You want people to like you and respect you. You don't want people to be scared of you. She liked that image as people being scared, meaning they'll respect you. That's not how it works. That's the wrong way to look at things. So like I said, that's pretty much what I was going through for the beginning of the time when we first opened. So from September to December, I decided December that I was kind of like over all of the shit that I was going through. I felt kind of like shit on, that I literally hired people, I trained people, I had a positive attitude, I always came to work, I was always ready to learn the next thing. I opened that store, I set everything up, I had no problem with doing anything. I came on my days off. Anything you could think of that I worked hard for that store, I did. So I was like, you know what, December, That year that we opened, that December, I decided, you know what, I'm going to a different job and I want to go try something different and I'm over this. So I did that, but since I left on good terms, I was able to text my manager back and she eventually brought me back. Cool, right? We opened in September, I left in December, and then I came back that next year, March. I started at Dunkin', everything was good, everything was smooth, everything was pretty much back to normal, you know, everything was good. I still had my position, I was still expected to do this, that, and the third, and I'll be good. What I could honestly explain for freaking hours, I could probably explain for hours the toxicity that we crew went through and ex-employees went through. I'm not even lying when I tell you, and I'm telling you 110%, if I were to ask every single person that has worked at that location, why did you leave? They would all say the same thing: because of the manager. What I'm trying to make it clear is I'm not going to get, and I'm not going to allow other people to get disrespected by a person that thinks that they're above people and they're not. Just because you have that title does not give you the reason that you could talk down to people, that you could call people stupid, that you could downplay people's decisions in life about when it comes to working at Dunkin'. My point is that I could literally ask every single person that has worked there before, why did you leave? They would all give you the same answer. And if anybody's watching that worked here, you could comment that. And plenty of times where people have texted about that, have sent her messages telling her, you are the reason why I'm leaving. I see it. I understand why they would say that. So I'm back working at Dunkin' and everything is good. Everything is going fine. That April, I joined this beautiful app called TikTok. That's where I really feel where stuff kind of went south. Don't come for me if that's not fucking south. I'm just making emotion. When I joined TikTok, I started right away doing Dunkin' content. She had no problem with it at all, in the least. Loved it, was like, oh my God, that's funny, that's cool. Right before she went on to vacation and I started my assistant manager series on TikTok, I had just hit 2,000 followers on TikTok. And when I said that, I remember it clear as day. Clear. I got out of the bathroom, I checked my phone, I just hit 2K. I was happy. I was like, oh my God, 2,000, like, that shit's crazy, you know? So I walked out of the bathroom, and when I hit that corner, she was right there, and I was like, said her name, and I was like, oh my God, guess what? I just hit 2,000 followers. She looked at me. What came out her mouth was very positive, but her face was a whole different story, and I'll never forget it. She was saying, oh my God, Jose, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Like, oh my God, I'm so proud, blah, blah. But her face looked like a completely different story. Goes to vacation. I film. I post content. I go, boom. By the time she comes back, I hit 10K. I was over 10K. It was as if, like, any chance that she said to, like, throw a dig at me and kind of shade me a little bit and kind of use TikTok against me, she would, because she would never tell me not to post. She would never tell me to do that because you didn't have a problem before, and why you have a problem now. You know what I mean? She would say stuff like, oh, you're making more money, you have TikTok, or she'll say stuff like, if it wasn't for Dunkin', you wouldn't have TikTok, blah, blah, blah. She'll say like slick shit like that. Like, she'll throw like little digs at me. And that's why I kind of slowly went away from the Dunkin' thing, because I was like, I don't want this to be what I'm 110% known for, because if you guys know me, I've always been doing content since 2009. I've always liked doing stuff like this. I've always liked filming stuff, editing stuff, watching people do it, watching people's day in lives, like all of that. From the beginning, she didn't think anything of it. Oh, I only got 100 followers. I'm not making money. Once she started seeing that, it was as if she got like jealous at that. And any chance she can, she would use it against me. She would be like, oh, Jose only cares about his second job, not his first job anymore, only his second job. And I'm like, I still do everything that you expect me to do. I literally come, I hit the floor. You expect me to go above and beyond when I start at 6 and you got one person on the floor. Who is going to help that one person? I have to hit the floor right away. I have no time to do anything in the back because you're back there and I'm up here and I'm handling the floor while you're there till 8 o'clock, 6 to 9, 3 people. But then you're complaining if we're not taking the orders properly, if we're not moving the line, then why don't you come help us when you know we don't have enough people on the floor? And that's how it always is, and that was a problem too. If you want the next part, make sure you tune into the next video.
My boss was really jealous of you. She was jealous. She when someone's jealous of you, they try to bring you down in every aspect for you to stop doing what you're doing that you like to do. You like to do TikTok videos? She's going to ruin it in some way possible. Let's watch the next video. This is Life with Sean and Renee, and more videos are on the way. Bye.